Welcome to a new episode of Nerd Variety Podcast. What's up, everybody? I am Josh. I'm here with Matt.
What up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode.
Yes, and we're also joined by Chandon, who you will
Hey
have
everybody,
should have met in the episode before this one. So, yeah, welcome back, Chandon.
how's it going, guys?
We good.
Pretty
Just
good.
taking stock of the evening. It's been a chill evening so far. Today we're going to be talking about superhero movies, and in context, we're going to be giving you guys our pitches for superhero movies. As we explained in a previous episode, and as you've probably heard in other episodes, we're all big superhero movie fans, and we all kind of have seen enough and have like thought of good ideas for stories. So we want to kind of share them with y'all and see if y'all like them, and y'all can let us know what you think.
And as I like to say, if you don't like them, tell us why you're wrong.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. All right. So let's see. Shannon, what's your pitch for a superhero movie?
All right, so I actually have two. One is a superhero movie. One's not actually a superhero movie, but it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I'll start with the superhero movie. I think everybody knows we're getting ready to start with James Gunn's Batman movies, even though you got the Robert Pattinson movies going on. I think that the way that James Gunn should start his Batman universe is in the next Superman movie. Because, next year we're going to get Superman, Man of Tomorrow. I think Batman should show up in that movie. But I know they're already going to be starting, they've already been announced that they're going to be starting with, Dick Grayson's already Nightwing. We're looking at an older Batman again. So I think whenever they start the Batman movie, it should start with Joker beating Jason Todd to death. So that should be the opening sequence of the movie. Like we're introduced to the new Batman in Man of Tomorrow, but the very opening shot of James Gunn's first solo Batman movie should be Joker beating Jason Todd to death.
Dang.
Woo! That's bold,
Like
sir.
That's brave and
that's how you
bold.
set.
Ha ha ha
That's how.
ha.
But that's how you set the tone for that movie. Like
Whew.
you know that it's going to be dark, it's going to be gritty, it's going to be everything that you would want from a Batman movie. So you
Yeah.
start out with that scene, and it's just that's what it opens with, and then it's kind of like it starts to be like a nightmare sequence. Like you see whoever's going to be playing Batman. That's one of the hardest parts is casting Batman for this movie.
Mhm.
I don't even have a pick for it at this point,
No,
but
nobody. Yeah.
whoever's playing Batman, like it starts out with that scene, and then it's whoever Bruce Wayne is wakes up, and he's covered in sweat. It was a nightmare. He's just replaying it over and over again
PTSD.
because they've already said that Damian Wayne is going to be the Robin. So
Hmm.
we already know that we're three Robins in or four Robins in,
Hmm.
and he is still haunted by Jason Todd's death. And so you go through the whole movie because they all of a sudden there's this new killer on the street. There's somebody who is after he's actively chasing down known associates of the Joker. All of the Joker's right hand men are being pulled from the streets, are being killed, being murdered. And so Batman goes on this long journey of trying to figure out who it is that's trying to get to the Joker. And we end the movie, or we're not in the movie, but we go through the movie and we're introduced to the Red Hood. And you
I
go through
love
and
it.
you get that first introduction of a live action Red Hood that's not in like the Titans TV series, but making his film debut.
Yeah, yeah. So, all right. So it's gonna be Batman and Robin being Damian Wayne, right?
Yeah,
And they're gonna
Yeah.
be, and Red Hood's gonna be the villain or the like.
Red Hood's going to be the villain through the whole movie, and the final fight is he kidnaps Damian Wayne, and there's that whole there's that whole dynamic of Damian Wayne is his actual biological son, and so Red Hood is pushing Batman of you couldn't save one of your sons, but can you save your actual biological son? And there's that game that's being played
Mm,
of, I've got your son, but I was supposed to be your son.
yeah.
Why didn't you save me?
Mm,
James Gunn hired this man because he is cooking. Shannon,
yeah.
let me get
Yeah.
you an apron, bro, because
Yeah. Let me turn the
bravo.
oven on. I'll get you some oil, yeah, some seasoning stuff, and let him cook.
Because,
But
damn,
yeah,
I'd watch that in a heartbeat.
That's a pretty
yeah,
good.
that's the rough outline. I still got some more things that I would put in and trying to figure out how to add those things. But that's the gist of the overall story.
And
Man.
I say you get the dude that played Jason in Titans to play Adult Red Hood because that dude he did a good job and he loved the character. So
I
I say run.
I don't. I like him as the actor. I think he did a good job for what that show was.
hmm
But when I think of Red Hood, like when you think of Jason Todd as a kid, he's very acrobatic. He can move. He's quick. But when you think of Red Hood, you think of somebody who is big, somebody who is menacing,
hmm
somebody that you would be afraid of. And that guy, while he did a great job on Titans, I don't know that I would look at him and go, he's scary.
He's
That's a
very
fair point.
he's very angry, Jason Todd, which is what you expect. Very angry, very
Yeah.
outgoing, kind of got some aggression in him. And while I was like, okay, that's a decent start. We finally got Jason Todd in live action. But yeah, if he's going to be in the movie, if he's going to be like Red Hood, I need like a more physical presence.
Somebody like what's his name that Alan Richards Rick
Alan
plays
Rickman.
yeah, Alan Rickman.
Oh,
Um,
the guy who played
somebody his size, not necessarily him, but
yeah.
somebody his size.
Yes. Not. I mean, not that big, but definitely somewhere, something close to that. Yeah.
It's funny because he was in Titans too, wasn't he? He
Yep. He
played
was also in
Yeah,
Smallville as Aquaman. So yeah, I think people
Aquaman.
have been
Yeah,
pushing him to be Batman, and I'm just like,
yeah.
I don't, I like it, but I don't like it. Like, ugh.
I like it because I like that actor. I think he does a good job,
hmm
but I don't know that he could. I just don't see him as Batman.
Yeah. It's just he's so close. Just like just.
I think he'd be a great Booster Gold.
Yeah. Yeah. He could play Aquaman
Because
again.
if you've watched Blue Mountain State, he's got the acting chops. He's got the comedy now. I
hmm
think Booster Gold would be a great comedy superhero to add to that universe.
Yeah, yeah, they are going to make the show about him. I think. Yeah, it was a show. It was a show. They are working on a show for Booster Gold. So I feel like they will go with someone that's a little more comedic energy. But yeah, I would love to see that. Alan, what's his name?
Alan
Rich
Richson.
Richson. I would love to
Richson.
see him in the
Yeah.
ECU. I would love that.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
my bad. Alan
yeah,
Richson, not Rickman.
yeah,
I'll tell you one that I haven't seen thrown out much, but a character I'd love to see a show about is Plastic Man.
yeah. That would be a
Like a
very funny
good
show.
comedy show.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be down for that. I like Plastic Man. He's hilarious.
yeah. Yeah, I've only read a little bit of him in like the Injustice comics, but he was always just very just give it. Yeah, he's just going to give you some Deadpool energy, and that's good in small doses in DC.
Get the Miz to play him. You
Hmm.
didn't cast him for Johnny Cage. Cast him for Plastic Man. I think he'd be perfect.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think would be a very meta, funny casting with somebody who has some acting or some comedy chops is John Krasinski. He plays Mr. Fantastic and Plastic Man in two separate universes. I think that'd
hmm
be pretty funny. But don't do it like with Plastic Man. You'd get tired of it in a 45-minute show. But if you did it like a sitcom, 30
Oh yeah,
minutes
yeah. 30 minutes.
episodes,
Yeah,
for like 6 episodes a season, I think it'd be a really great funny show.
yeah. Give us like Jim from The Office, but dial up the kind of the asshole. I mean, let him not be afraid to get a little more risque with some of his humor. Yeah,
Yeah.
I dig it. I dig it.
That'd be
Uh,
hilarious. I'd be down for that.
Matt, you have your pitch? You want to go shoot us?
Yeah. So here's mine, and it's not necessarily a superhero movie, but it's like superhero adjacent. And you could actually take this several different ways. It'd be better if you actually made it a sitcom or like a office buddy comedy type thing. But even as a buddy type movie, you could do it. We see a lot of the heroes and stuff and what they do and the damage they cause to like cities and places and all that. But I would love to see a movie, sitcom, whatever, about the cleanup crews that have to deal with that. Because like every time I watch a superhero movie, something gets destroyed. Superman goes flying by, breaks a bunch of windows. Hulk throws a car into a building or something, or blows up somebody's car. It's like, who's gonna clean that up? I would love to see like different cleanup crews of like different ethnicities and different personalities of people working together trying to clean up the mess. I think me and Josh talked about doing some skits about it. I really think we should do that. I think it'd be fun. But I'd love to see like a fleshed out series with it. Say you have like a guy that hasn't really had a decent job before, but this is the job he get. It pays well. He goes out on his first trip with like an experienced person, and like they have to like clean up this vat of acid that spilled out from a battle between Superman and like Darkseid or something. It's like, bruh, they only sent two of us over here. How are we supposed to clean this up? And the new guy's like, man, I don't want to touch any of this stuff. Like, he's like, hey man, you just gotta here. I'm gonna show you. Here's this bucket. It's not gonna melt because it's specially built for it. You know. And it's like, what about us? We're supposed to have hazmat suits and stuff. Nah, you only get gloves. It's like, what do you mean we only get gloves? I would love to see that. Just flesh it out a little. Like I already have a bunch of stuff in my mind that I want to, like a bunch of scenarios and stuff. And you could do that. You could do that every week for like six. You could do that for a whole sitcom season, and you could have an entire series for 5, 6 seasons of it because there's so many superheroes. Like
hmm
it'd be a blast.
Or what you could do is have like a running joke from every episode. Kind of like South Park had, "Oh my God, you killed Kenny," and Kenny died
Yeah,
in every episode.
yeah. Some
You
some
could have
random
something
guy.
like that, but there's one guy on the crew that every time he comes out at the end of the episode, some superhero has like grabbed his car and thrown it
Yep.
at a villain.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yep. Or like,
So he just walks out and he's like, "Not again."
or like you could have him be like, they got the a superhero, one of the big tech companies in the superhero world sponsored them with a cloning machine. So like you have that one guy that always gets killed and gets cloned back into the series every
Yeah, yeah.
time.
Just make him like the dumb character that's just like, "Hey guys, what's
Yeah.
up? I'm
Uh,
gonna I'll take care of the whoa." And
yeah. Oh,
shit.
that's Tony. Oh yeah, that's Tony 10. We call him Double T. It's like, wait, why is he Tony 10? There was 9 before him.
Or one of the guys that like as he's working, he ends up getting like superpowers, but it's only stuff that can help him with the damage control job.
Yeah, yeah. Not enough to fight crime. No, no. But just
Like
enough to like
like his hands can become brooms.
I was thinking leaf blowers.
or if he holds his breath, he can like push a car a little better. Or
As
it
long
makes
he's
him
got
makes him
super
like
strength, as
slightly
long
it
as
makes
he's
him
holding.
magnetic so he can like move some of the metal stuff around, but only for like for as long as he can hold his breath.
See, we done made a whole show out of it with different characters already. It would be a blast. I think it should be done. Yeah.
I told Matt when we were talking about it earlier today that Powerless kind of had it had like 7 to 8 episodes on NBC, very short lived, but it was
Oh
basically
yeah,
it was kind of like that.
it had what's her name in it?
Vanessa Ann Hutchins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It,
I
it
do
was
remember
funny.
that.
I think it needed a little more like tweaking, but it was still like it had a good premise to it. Yeah, I think Matt just putting, I think if you focus on the workers themselves instead of like the people in the office, I think you get a really good show.
Like I just keep running
But
through a bunch of different scenarios in my head, and it's like all of them make me laugh, and I would sit and watch a sitcom for that for years.
Oh
but
yeah.
like even if you set it in the MCU, like every episode could be like a retelling of the story of Thor and the people who have to come in and clean up after that. So every episode you're looking at 30 episodes right there
Yeah.
Uh,
of
like
just them having to
I
come in and clean up after Captain America.
and I know the DC, I mean the Marvel universe has damage control that
Mhm.
does that, and there's comics based on it. But like, yeah, if we got a show based on it, I'm in.
Yeah, yeah. I know they had a one shot um, back years ago. It took place after the Avengers Battle of New York, and it had this couple that found some Chitauri weapons, and they started to commit crimes with them until Shield got a hold of them and was like, we could just throw you guys in jail, or we could put you to work since you seem to be very handy with this weaponry here. And then we have that scene in Homecoming where Vulture and his crew get the contract to clean up the city, but then damage control takes over and they're just kind of left out of a job. But it would be really cool to see like boots on the ground handling that. People that, are just gonna be real and just they're gonna get the very baseline training, but you know how people are
Yep,
with
yep.
with
And
that.
then the beauty of it is nobody has superpowers, and like Shandon said earlier, if you got one guy that had like random superpowers, that's the one guy that like hardly ever shows up.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or
He's out making doing content creation now.
Yeah.
well, you got one
Damn it,
guy who like
Carl.
he has super strength for as long as he can hold his breath, but he has asthma, so he can't hold his breath for very long.
Damn it. Damn it. Come
See,
on, that would suck.
see, see, it writes itself. We've already come up with 4 episodes right here.
Yep, yep. Thought of one where Spider-Man's webs get everywhere and they
Yep.
last for about an hour or so. Just have it where, people are just constantly trying to clean up the battle, but they all keep getting caught in the webs and the battle's still going on. They're just kind of following him. And every time one of them gets like caught up in the web, it's like, we can't get you out, man. We're gonna get stuck in it too. Like, what do you want us to do? Just wait for an hour. It'll be fine.
And then
I
they
got a
be
date, man.
Or
Come
like you got
on.
this guy with the squeegee just sitting there cleaning the windows, and every time he's done, Spider-Man swings by again. He's like, "Dang it!" and he has to go and wipe it off again.
Gotta wait another hour. Damn it.
see, like
Oh man.
it writes itself.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yep.
So I have a pitch for uh and this would be a Justice League movie. Um and when I picture it, I imagine like, I'm trying to think of like, I guess it could be in a like more in a like a DCU movie. But it could also be like I was like actually thinking of like the DCEU or just in like if the Arrowverse shows wanted to do this. But I thought it'd be really cool to see the Justice League having to fight off the Sinestro Corps. So Sinestro Corps have sent like a bunch of yellow rings to Earth, and so you have like random people, villains getting these rings, and it's like, oh crap, it's got all these people that are not supposed to have these rings that have these rings, and it's like everyone's having to figure out how to stop them. The big thing I want to do is give like each of the Justice League, like some of the Justice League members, some of the power rings, and I was thinking of like giving Superman the blue ring, and I thought it'd be cool because he's got the blue ring, but he doesn't let him use his powers as much. Like he doesn't have the full range of his powers, so he's kind of like having to work with the team in like a limited role, or not as he's not the muscle of the team as he used to be, but he still has to be that beacon of hope, be the white mage of the team instead of just the powerhouse. Of course, give Wonder Woman the
Pretty
Star
cool.
Sapphire. I think that would be very, very fitting for her character. I think you could leave out like Flash and let Flash just keep doing his thing. Let him be like boots on the ground. Give Aquaman the red ring. I thought let's get an Aquaman who has just lost his dad and or son to Black Manta. Like
Oh,
you would have
oh,
like that movie happen like before. Have him be just
ooh,
like have him be just like fuck the surface world. Also, he lost his hand too. So so he's like, I lost family, I lost my hand, surface world sucks, I'm mad, and he gets a red ring. So yeah, have fun with that.
And he wears it on the offhand, but he has his hand back by using the ring.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh, that'd
I like
be
that.
dope.
And of course,
That's
I want
also
to
dangerous as hell.
and of course, I want a scene similar to the warehouse scene we got in Dawn of Justice, but Batman has a yellow ring and
Oh,
he just goes full like just like, oh, you guys thought y'all I was scary before. Oh, I know you guys are all like scared shitless, but you're about to be it's about to be even worse for y'all. And you see like, I can see the trailer now, just like a scene of them like trying to corner him. Then he comes out of a corner and just yellow bats everywhere, and everyone's fears. Like he's not beating he's beating people up like hand to hand, but he's also like using their fears, like showing you, oh, are you afraid of your the I don't know whatever you're afraid of. I'm gonna make that attack you. Like
bro.
yeah.
So you're basically turning into Scarecrow times like a million.
Well, I mean, he's got a yellow ring. He's very good at instilling fear, so why would he not have a
That's
ring?
that's terrifying, Josh.
Yes, yes,
The
exactly.
like no,
It it kind of reminds me. You remember in the comics when Batman invited Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, into the room that was all painted yellow, and he
Yep,
was wearing
yep.
a yellow Batman suit. He fought him.
As far as like other like actual lanterns, I'm not sure. I want to introduce some maybe like of course, John Stewart, probably maybe Jessica Cruz. I think that would be cool dynamic. I have an idea for like Hal Jordan. Maybe make him like the villain. Maybe he's possessed by Parallax and they can either like
or give him the death ring, the black ring.
oh, maybe that too. Maybe. I was kind of thinking that
Yeah.
maybe he dies or maybe they help like resuscitate, they help him recover, help him break through, and then he just retires and lets one of the younger lanterns take over. But yeah, I think that would be a cool premise there. So that was my pitch for like a Justice League sequel. I would call it Justice League Zero Hour.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. Who else
Yeah.
has a pitch they want to share?
All right, I do, but like I said, this one is not a superhero movie, but it's my favorite movie of all time.
Uh-oh.
And it's not many. It's not very often that you talk about rebooting your favorite movie of all time. Favorite movie of all time is Princess Bride. I love The Princess Bride, but I think they have a perfect opportunity to reboot it. Now, this isn't my original idea, but I'd like to expand upon it because I saw somebody else talk about it. I can't remember the person who it was. It randomly came across, I think it was TikTok or something, but I thought it was a great idea. I sat around and I actually like kind of fan casted who I think would be good for the roles for each character. So the reboot would go this way. The greatest thing about the original Princess Bride is it basically set itself up to be the perfect reboot. Because when you think about it, the grandpa, when he's reading the story to his grandson when he's at home sick, what happens when he's hearing the story? He's making up the characters in his mind. As children, most of the times when we make up characters in our mind, we make the people what we see the most often. So when you watch The Princess Bride and the kids getting the story told to him, all the characters in the movie are white. So the way you reboot the movie is you bring back Ben Savage as an adult. He's at his workplace. His coworkers like, hey, I've got to go home. My daughter's sick. And the person who I saw this idea said it could be like Queen Latifah who played the role of the mother. Hey, my kid's sick. I got to go home and take care of my kid. my daughter, and Ben Savage's character is like, hey, well, if you're going home to take care of a sick kid, take this book home with you because my grandfather used to read it to me when I was sick. So he gives her the book. So that she goes home, she starts reading the book to her daughter, and again, it's the daughter like, she'd rather be on her phone, she'd rather be on her tablet, whatever. And the mom's like, no, I'm going to read you this book. And so she starts telling the story, and you can change different characters or you can change some of the storylines, but keep the overall narrative the same. But and now, as a young black girl listening to the story of her mother, she starts to see the characters. There's like see herself in the characters. So when you have Wesley or the Dread Pirate Robert instead of Carrie Yules, you have Aaron Pierre,
Hmm.
who's going to be Hal Jordan
Hmm.
in
Oh no, John Stewart. John
the
Stewart.
and John Stewart in Green Lantern, and then you got Inigo Montoya, played by Donald Glover.
Hey,
You can't
That's
tell me
that.
that doesn't fit.
That's good.
You
That's
can't tell me
pretty
it
I,
doesn't
good.
work.
That's
I
pretty
like
good.
it.
That's pretty
I
good.
like
And then
it.
you got King Humperdinck instead, played by I cannot remember the guy's name, but he played Morgan in The Walking Dead.
Ooh.
Lenny James, I think is his
Yeah, Lenny
name.
James. So he's King Humperdinck,
I'm
and
not
then you
sure
got
if
the
that's
six.
right, but I know his
I think
first
I
name
think
is
it is. I
Lenny.
think it's something like that. It's very similar, but he's Prince Humperdinck, and then you got the six-fingered man who killed Inigo Montoya's father, played by Samuel L. Jackson.
Hmm.
Run it, run it right now.
Ooh.
And
Somebody
then
book
Okay.
that.
you've got the Sicilian, played by Kevin Hart.
Yeah,
You
let's
can't tell me
go.
you
Great.
can't tell me you can't see Kevin Hart
Yep.
killing that role
Yep.
and playing that role perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then you had Andre the Giant, who played Fezzik.
Mm-hmm.
Big Show,
Well, who's another sports star that's a giant with a deep voice who can play a mean, intimidating character?
Big Show.
Shazam himself, or Kazam himself, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah,
Shaq.
you could do
It's
Shaq.
gotta be Shaq. It's gotta be Shaq.
And then to round out the cast, because you got to have Princess Buttercup,
Mm-hmm.
Haley Berry, who played Ariel in
Mm,
the live action Little Mermaid movie.
okay.
Somebody get this man a chef hat.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: it's not my original idea, but I think it works really well. It'd be a great pitch, and it would lead. It goes to show because what happens when we read a story? We read ourselves and what we look like and what the people around us that we associate the most with.
Mm-hmm.
So for her, seeing that, having that story read to her by her mother, you get to see another side of it with characters that look like the little girl.
I love it. I love
Bravo,
it.
man. Bravo. That's a good one.
I think that would be a good way, and the Princess Bride leads. It lends itself the way that it was made to being rebooted
Mm-hmm.
because of the characters are who we make up in our mind.
Yeah, yeah. And that way it could be retold later down the road with like, you know, more Hispanic characters or
Yeah,
more Asian characters or whatever have you, or just more
I would.
or more just
I would
more
love to see them
diverse
redo it.
characters.
Yeah, I'd love to see them redo it as like a Bollywood movie.
Oh, that'd be
You know,
interesting.
that'd
Ooh,
be
that'd be interesting.
interesting to see.
Yeah, having some dance numbers in there.
Yeah, but it works well because you're always going to read what you know into the story.
Hmm.
I have one that's not really a pitch, but it's a request because they already tried it and it got canceled. Give us the Donald Glover animated Deadpool show, please.
Donald
Rob,
Glover animated Deadpool show?
yeah,
I didn't know there was one.
yeah. It was in development and then it got canceled. Rob Liefeld, the creator of Deadpool, he posted a while back one of the concept videos of it, and man, it looked incredible. I'll send it to you guys. But yeah, it was freaking incredible. I want that show, please.
Yeah. There was another. I thought you were gonna mention the like the Lando show idea that they were tossing around, like have Billy
Yeah,
D. Williams like be telling some young younglings about like his adventures, and then it cuts to a younger version of him played by Donald Glover as a new show or a movie. I thought you were
yeah,
gonna say that.
that'd be a good
Nah,
one too.
Yeah.
that would be a good one, but I really want the animated Deadpool show.
I think it's fair time about it's time we've had a Deadpool show. There's a lot you can do with Deadpool animated than you can do live action things that wouldn't take forever to do.
I honestly think that young Donald Glover, would have been a great Miles Morales.
Yep, yep. I
Like if
just
you've ever watched some of his stand up from when he was younger, he would have been a great Miles Morales.
he could have pulled it off. I feel like he got kind of started late though, as far as being
Yeah,
that age, like an adult Miles for sure, like a young in college Miles for sure. But
yeah,
if he hadn't done Community, he would have been a good like college age Miles. But I think he just got to start. Their timing just didn't start up quite right.
yeah. No,
Yeah,
but I want to see more of him as live action Prowler.
yeah. I mean, I think we got that little taste of him in Across the Spider-Verse, but
Yep.
there's definitely room for him to come back. I think I can wrap us up with my kind of two-parter idea for Justice League movies. The first one will be an adaptation of Trinity War as a New 52 storyline event, and but also like borrow some inspiration from the Civil War from the MCU. You have like the Justice League, and they're investigating like like some rogue superheroes, and I think or some rogue like suspicious activity. They can't pin on a villain. They don't know like who's done it. They suspect, it could be like some things point to the Justice Society. Like, or have they gone rogue? I don't know. Something's going on. Or have they gone rogue? Justice Society thinks the Justice League has gone rogue, but no one's really sure. And then you have like both teams like suspicious of each other, trying to figure out what's going on. It's a big mystery. Then like the big like climax of the movie is it's the Legion of Doom that's been behind the whole thing. And you have like like Lex, and this Lex would be a Lex that has fused with Brainiac. So there's a Superman movie that takes place before where Superman beat Brainiac and Lex helped him, but Lex took what was left of Brainiac and made an armor out of him or something like that. Combined himself with like inserted Brainiac into with himself to make use of him. And then you have Cheetah and Deathstroke, maybe throw in Black Manta or some other villains, and have them be the ones. Oh yeah, it was us all along. Ha 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 ha. We got you guys right where we
Yeah,
want you. We got you defeated. But then it ends with their big plan. They had the missing pieces they needed, and when that piece is to help them build a father box. And so they activate that father box, and things go wrong, and a bunch of them, most of the heroes, most of the villains, get transported to Apocalypse, and that's the ending for that movie. And then it picks up in the next movie, and this is kind of like takes inspiration from the nightmare scenes in from Dawn of Justice and Justice League. So you have like the heroes are stranded on Apocalypse, and Apocalypse is heading to Earth, and so there's this kind of race against the clock type thing, and you have two perspectives of like the heroes and villains working together to stop Darkseid on Apocalypse. But you also have the heroes that are left on Earth trying to figure out how to defend Earth, and that's where you get like some villains and heroes working together. You get Titans kind of like stepping up to the plate to like help defend Earth. But the big thing is like I want to see like the Justice League doing like some Mad Max stuff on Apocalypse, like having them have to like
yeah,
scavenge for like make vehicles and like weapons and stuff because like Superman's powers, I would nerf his powers again just to help, not make it like a very easy win for them and make them have to all kind of work together and really like fight their way through the hordes to get Darkseid. And then
or
defeat
he doesn't have any
before
powers.
he can invade Earth.
I
Yeah, or he
like
doesn't have
that.
any powers at all, and he has to learn how to like he has to build his own armor basically.
Yeah, yeah. Or Batman
That'd
has to
be
help. Batman has to help him make some armor. Uh, yeah, yeah. I think that would be cool. Like I don't know. I never liked Snyder's like not his trilogy idea. I thought, of course, that's some decent ideas, but I didn't like the whole like time travel. I liked the nightmare stuff where it was like, oh, post-apocalyptic, dystopian future type thing. But I didn't like some of the premise setup for it. But I think that would be a really like metal way to like wrap up a Justice League series.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. One of the things I've
yeah,
always thought
I'm
would be
with it.
cool too, and I guess this would kind of be going into another pitch, um, but I don't want to take too much time. But basically, you have James Gunn's universe, and he's already said he doesn't want to do Dark Side because we just had Thanos. He doesn't want DC to be just another knockoff
Hmm.
of the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
So instead of making Dark Side the big bad guy these current movies are leading to, it ends up with a point where once you've got the Justice League set, you've got your Wonder Woman, you've got your Flash, you got your Batman, you got David Cornsweet who's already Superman. So you've got all these characters, and they keep seeing these rifts that are happening all over the world, and they keep trying to figure out like they'll open and they'll see like the dream like this dark scene that looks like their world, but it's destroyed, but then it closes. And so they're doing all this, and like they're going around and they're trying to inspect and trying to figure out what's going on, doing all their investigations, and they can't figure out what it is. And then they finally get a message from an alternate world, which is the James Gunn's world, that their Superman had has destroyed the world. There's no life on Earth. If you're hearing this message, there's no life on our Earth. Superman has destroyed it.
Ooh, so
And
like
so
Injustice.
when they finally figure out what's going on, they look up and then they see Superman kind of like the sun's behind them, so all they see is the silhouette, and he's floating down towards the Justice League. And as it finally gets close enough to see what it is, it's Henry Cavill's Superman invading that Earth. And he
Is
Yo,
looks at the
this
rest of the Justice League and he's like, "You call that your Superman?" And that's where the movie ends, and it picks up with the battle in the next movie.
so we're getting like the Nightmare Superman goes comes
Nightmare
to comes to
Superman
the DCU. Oh,
actually
okay.
comes true, and that way it wraps up Zack Snyder's universe. That Superman that actually came true. All the things Batman was worried about, it actually happened, and he killed everyone.
Hmm.
And now he's coming to this universe to do the same thing.
Yep.
And that it ends with you called that your Superman. We don't know what happened to David Cornsweet's Superman. The next movie is them trying to fight off Superman. Well, he wins, and then you could lead into a third movie where David Cornsweet's Superman is brought back into the fold, and they're finally able to defeat him and get rid of the Dark Superman.
Okay. Okay. I
get
think
this man a chef's hat.
yeah, that would be a good like this one just turned evil. Sorry guys.
Yeah,
And you
because
get like
we see it in Injustice.
yeah, yeah. And it kind of goes into what
Yeah.
they were afraid of in the Superman movie from last year. It's like they were afraid of they became afraid of Superman of what he might do. And it's like, yeah, your fears are realized, but not here, but it's still possible. But this one's good. But yeah, here's an evil one. And this is what he looks and sounds like. And y'all need to be ready.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
so
love it.
I think that'd be a cool way to end one universe and then have him be the big bad of a new universe and move into a new set of stories after that story's over.
Or, we could amp up the ante a little bit. Matt, we could have your pitch for Reverse Flash. We really wanted to to really tie that knot together.
Why?
You said you're the one who said you wanted to see this. You wanted to Matt said he wanted to see Ezra Miller as the Reverse Flash.
I mean, yes, but why that way?
I mean, hey, you said you're the one who said we and you can quote us, and this is in another episode. Let them be the menace that they currently are.
Yes, exactly. I'm with it. But first you're giving us evil Superman, and then you want to give us freaking Ezra as Reverse Flash.
I mean,
That's
if you read Trinity War, that was the base of one of my pitches. When they when the climax of that is like, oh, one of their team members was actually a villain from Earth 3, and they've been manipulating the League to like help them open a portal. That portal opens to Earth 3, and you have Johnny Quick come through, you have Ultraman come through, you have Superwoman, you have Owlman, you have Power Ring. They all come through, and they just wreak havoc
Yeah.
on the world.
that sounds like a big problem that nobody needs, especially if Ezra is going to be Reverse Flash.
Yeah, we'd really
Good
have to
lord.
have a good. I'd like to see who the new Flash is going to be, but yeah, they need to get their Justice League together, and then maybe they make this work in some animated form. I don't know.
Hey, look, all I gotta do is call me. I may not be a writer, but I'm a good ideas guy.
Hey, yeah. DC, if you're listening, we got some stuff for you. If you're in the market for some ideas.
Let us cook, damn it. Let us cook.
Or if you just want to be a sponsor, we'll take that too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah,
absolutely.
give us money. We'll make use of it.
We'll take that Marvel DC money in a heartbeat, bro. I ain't even gonna hold
We'll take that Disney Paramount HBO
you. Yep, yep,
Warner Brothers whatever network they're calling themselves nowadays.
yep,
We'll
for
take it.
sure. Yep.
Well, I think
Paramount be
yeah. All right,
Peacock
y'all.
Mia.
That's I don't have any more pitches to share. I think we're all good on our
No.
pitches for now. We'll probably do a sequel to this because we're always coming up with ideas and you know we'll think about them. It's like, oh, that could work, or it's like, and then you're like, no, that I don't know if that work, or and
Right.
then you kind of like flesh it out a little more. So give us some time. We'll get a sequel out for this episode. Anything else going on, guys?
I mean, Adapt for Combat, which has now been pushed back to August 25th. Y'all come support. Check out the website, adaptforcombat.com. August 25th, 2026. Come support your boy as an athlete. Come watch me compete. Come, or check out the stream when we get the stream up. August 25th. Come check out these other adaptive athletes that are going to be competing. But that's about it from me.
Yep, yep.
Oh, Passion of Wrestling too. We actually have a show this Saturday, Swainsboro, Georgia. Myself and our friend Taylor, we do commentary and ring announcing. So if y'all want to come check out some pro wrestling, Swainsboro, Georgia is the place to be.
They put on a great show. I helped them out with recording their match February of last year, and it was an event. Like I was not expecting all to see all that. It was great.
Oh, oh, bro, we just had our meeting for this weekend show. It's gonna be freaking epic. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Nice, nice. We love ourselves some wrestling.
Yep.
Well, that's it for us for now. Keep an eye on our socials. We'll be posting some short form content as well as getting these most recent episodes out there. But until then, nerd out.
Nerd out.
Nerd out.